get him going and talk about football. You know,
yeah, I mean, I can go. I can leave if you guys want to talk about it.
Hey, actually, we asked the coach about this. You guys, you could start like really diving into Houston right now, but it seems like this week is more about just like, let's just work on us. Is that what you're finding?
Yeah, I think it's a happy medium. Like, I think it's, certainly towards, end of next week, we'll probably start small, starting walkthroughs, see what they're doing first down, second down, and then kind of getting into the exotics on probably late next week, right? I think there's a certain balance between, like, over preparing versus under preparing. I think that they're going to have the extra days to take advantage of them, but at the same time, like, a lot going on right now, roster cuts, and guys just trying to still execute small things. Let's just try to finish off camp, even though it's not really training camp anymore, but also trying to transition into Houston, Texas stuff.
Brandon, as a first round pick, I'm sure you've never had to worry about Texas. The rookies or undrafted guys, do you talk to them about it? Because this is a tough time for them.
Yeah, I think. I think as you look back at your career and try to put yourself in those situations, right? I mean, Nick Saban always had a great recommendation for young guys coming out of college was if you're not going to be a first or early second round day, come out to college. And I think after being in the league now for going on 9 years, I understand why, right? It's, later you are in the draft, undrafted guys, like it's a steep climb to make it in the NFL. And I think what you see is over time from April when these guys get in here to where they are now, the margin of error for those guys is just so small, right? And they ultimately contribute so much to our group. And I'm speaking just from the offensive line perspective is, those guys, you see them working on their craft every single day, and at the end of the day, there's limited spots that we can bring, right? But I think it's why you always highlight those guys even more when they make it and the things that they do positively, because they push us. I mean, just because you're a first rounder doesn't mean that you're exempt from anything else. Certainly, doubtful you're going to get cut day one, but I think those guys really make a massive contribution to this team. I think it's really important to highlight them.
Do you guys get a little juice from like when an undrafted free agent makes the roster unexpectedly?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when they sing in training camp, man, his sign bonus is like 0. You're like, dude, you couldn't be more pumped for that guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to go the hard route, small school, minimal offers out of high school, praying that some teams are watching your film from your senior year to make it and having a seat in the room, right? It is so incredible. I think you pull for those guys, and they ultimately, they contribute so much to the room. I mean, that's what's so important about it is you're here for a reason. I think everybody makes it a point of that too. Like, don't just assume that you're not going to be here. Come the beginning of the season, like push for a spot, push for everything you want to do, and I think we've got great coaches that also highlight that as well.
Shane mentioned that one guy was kind of stood out with Dalton Tucker. Just from your perspective, what has kind of stood out from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, small town Kentucky kid, goes and plays at Marshall, undrafted, small signing bonus, comes in, to a very veteran established offensive line with, I told the people at the luncheon, I think this is the most talented our offensive line's been, 15 guys total. Obviously you're not going to be able to keep 15, but I thought Tucker, just from day one, tough guy, kind of reminds me a little bit of Matt Slauson. Probably a little more talented, but I love Slauson to death. He was in year 10 by the time we got to him. You know what I mean? So, Slauson also broke his neck and sternum in one game and kept playing, so he was tough as nails too. But long story short, Tuck did such a great job of being like a great accountable guy in the room. He brought some character, obviously. Got a little Kentucky twang to him, so he became a fan favorite pretty quickly. But I think what he showed in the last couple games is how versatile he can be. I mean, Tony's going to stress those guys that are bubble the backups, right? You can't have 10 guys dressing on Sunday, so you got to be able to play positions on both sides, center, tackle. I think he's done a great job of just transitioning, playing hard, being accountable for his team, and getting better. That's all you can ask for.